Okay, so in part A here, by definition of a factorial, 5 factorial means you start at 5 and you keep multiplying down until you get to 1. So 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Notice this gives you 120. And 7 factorial would be 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So you start with that number and count down until you get to 1 and multiply all those digits in between. You get 5040, which is a good year. The thing to note, though, is notice in the expansion for 7 factorial, this portion right here, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, what's that? Yep, that is 5 factorial. So keep that in mind. In part C, we can write the numerator as 7 times 6 times 5 factorial. We can keep the denominator as 5 factorial. So since we're dividing, what happens to the 5 factorials? They cancel. You just get 7 times 6, which is 42. Ooh, fancy font. Oh, that's nice. Good. And then even better, in part D, again, the numerator could be 7 times 6 times 5 factorial. Downstairs, we have 5 factorial times 2 factorial, which is just 2 times 1. We'll notice again, the 5 factorials will cancel. Upstairs, you get 42, as discussed from part C. Downstairs, you get 2, so 42 over 2 is 21. Oh, that's gorgeous. Hold on one second. There we go. So on your calculator, you can do a factorial. Let me show you. So to get a factorial on your calculator, what you're going to do is you're going to first type the number that you want. So let's say 5. Then you're going to go to Math. You're going to scroll over to PRB. You can scroll in either direction. And notice you'll see a factorial button. Now this is for the 8384 calculators. If you are in the 30 series, you'll type 5. And then you should already have a PRB button on your calculator. You'll select that, and then you'll select your exclamation point. That takes you back to the main screen. So we just want 5 factorial here, so we'll just hit enter and get our 120. For part D, which is a little more complex, we'll say 7 math factorial divided by, well, I'm dividing by a product here, so in our calculator, we need to start it off with the parentheses. 5 factorial times 2 factorial. Now the time sign is actually optional. You shouldn't need to write it. The calculator will understand, but it's okay if you do. And notice we put this in, we get our 21 that we received by hand earlier. In practice, if you want to do it by hand, cool. If you want to do it by calculator, cool. I would prefer calculator because it'll go a lot faster, and later on we're going to have really big numbers. You'll notice that even after 5 factorial we were already in the hundreds, and 7 factorial we were already in the thousands. So where's my screen? So it's better that you do it by calculator, and then you should be okay.